Trying to use Gramps today to input repositories, sources, citations, stuff like that. Okay, and I just watched a video about it, right, just a few minutes ago, so I might be able to actually do it the first time. So let's see how it goes. First off, let's find somebody to actually put into the database. FamilySearch.org. Let's search for a common name like John Smith. See if we can find somebody. Wyoming, 1870 census. Oh, there's somebody right there. Oh, look at all these different places. Laramie, Wyoming. Wyoming Territory, John Smith. He's from Massachusetts, but he's living in Wyoming. So let's open up Gramps. Let's make a new one. I'll call this Make Citation, Reload Family Tree. This is our movie about trying to use Gramps. I got a whole series on that. This is maybe the third one. All right, so you got your different stuff. I just watched a movie on how to do this. So you got repositories, citations, sources. They're all in different views in Gramps. I'm going to add a person. Let's call him John Smith just for fun of it. John surname. We want to create an event for this guy, and then we're going to link it to a source, actually a citation. Let's say he was living in, where's the residence? Residence, June 8, 1870. Let's say that's the date. Let's go 8 June 1870. Hope that works. All right, there's a residence that formatted the date. Okay, that's good. And it has an event ID. Now let's try to link that to a source. Let's start at the bottom of the hierarchy, the repository, source, citation, you know, in that order, except we're going to go backwards. All right, so what's this? This is, we don't know what that is, and there's no tooltip. That's unfortunate. What if I was to click this? What happens? Nothing? Oh my. That's unfortunate too. Okay, well, whatever. We're going to make a new citation by doing this. To select a source, use drag and drop or use the buttons. Which buttons? These buttons? Oh, I see. Look, there's select an existing source. So we can add a new source here. Let's try that. Oh, that should be fun. Okay. I believe that was the 1870 U.S. Census for Wyoming Territory. We're just skating through this. We're not trying to do anything perfect right now. There was no actual place to put a repository in that I saw, but we can make up for that later possibly. There's a page number 18. Let's go page number 17 and 18 because this family is, or this household is listed on 2 pages. And it would be probably household number 121, family number 119, and then a page number. Put your actual citation where it says volume page number. How I like to do things, I would say visit 119, family 121, page 17 through 18, because you want to get the whole household. He could be related to somebody in that household. All right, confidence normal. I'd hate to have abnormal confidence. Okay, now here in Treebard, you're going to be able to use this over and over. I don't know if you can here. That's one thing we're going to take a look at is whether or not we actually use this over and over or whether you have to copy and paste it or what. Now see, the citation has its own ID. Interesting. All right, now I promise we're going to look for a way to make a repository. Let's look on sources. Now, if you look here, there's no citations in this source. I made a citation, I just now did. Oh, I see. I didn't link it to a source, did I? Let's double click it. I want to link this to a source. So I made a source before and I did it from here by doing that, but then it didn't link that citation to that source, which is confusing. That's why I'm confused. It's all Gramps' fault. I'd like to link this to a source, if you don't mind. Create and add a new note. I don't want any notes right now. Okay, how do I link this to an actual source. It doesn't actually look that obvious. This should have linked it to a source. But if you go here, I don't see any way to list this or to expand this into the various citations that are under it or within it. And in the movie I just watched on YouTube, that's what they were able to do. Let's say I found a repository called familysearch.org. I like to go like that because then you don't have to click as many pages. Why do they have type here? Is this important? I'm asking myself this question because I'm getting ready to do sources, citations, and repositories in Treebard. I'm getting ready to write code. I've been waiting 4 years to write this code, and now I'm saying to myself, well, do I need repository types? Do I need source types? Do I need to say, oh, the U.S. Census is a census? Do I need to say the New York Census is a census? Do I need to say that a birth certificate is a birth certificate? I don't think so, but we'll see. We'll see. All these different things. I think these different extra categories are appealing to people like me who, the bookkeeper type. I just love to categorize stuff. But in the long run, it slows you down. And what does it accomplish for genealogy? So that's my question. Does it actually accomplish something, or does it just slow us down and give us more stuff to sort through? So problem is, Treebard is for everybody, and not everybody's going to want to sort through all that stuff. Now here, I was forced to make a choice. So there must be a reason for it, because it said library. Well, I didn't want to do a library. It's a familysearch.org. Okay, family search. There is a repository. Now, this source, I want to be able to link this to a repository. So I double clicked it. Now, how do I link this to a repository? Oh, this is how I'm going to try to do it. This might work. This would add a repository, and this would maybe, it doesn't say, but if I click that, oh, I get to select a repository. Now I remember what they did in the other movie I just watched. Oh my goodness, this is too much detail for me. I don't really want to look at that. Gramps is full of all kinds of detail that people generally probably might not want to look at. Okay, now this top part is about this exact source. See, here's the repository in general down here. That's why it says shared. And this top part is about this particular source within this repository, and that source was the 1870 U.S. Census for Wyoming Territory. It's a website, right? Oh, I have to say electronic, do I? Did you know that if the it's true, I'm going to tell you this is true. If the magnetic field of the Earth was to disappear, you wouldn't be able to use a computer anymore. And then what would you do? You'd probably go out in your garden and grow some carrots, I bet you. That's what I'd do. Electronic. I'd like to say website, but I'm going to have to say electronic. I don't know why. Call number. Ooh. Let's look and see what that URL was. See, that's what I'll put for a call number right there. Call number, that's for libraries, but website is kind of a library. So we're going to go like that and hit OK. All right. Source, repository, citation. Oh, there. See, this still isn't uncollapsing, like it was shown in the movie I watched. And I had the same problem when I made Places. So I think it was Places, to where this table is basically useless for anything except double clicking to open this thing. Whereas before, in the movie, which was a slightly older version, seemed like this would have an indentation under here, and then you'd see the stuff that's in that repository. For example, this source. Once again, I'm not succeeding in learning much about Gramps by just going to it, opening it up, and trying to use it, even after I watched a movie on how to do it. Let's see, what's down here? Seems to me like, oh, how did that happen? References. Oh my goodness, look. Look at that. There it is. I had something hidden down. Oh, yeah. Now this could lead to one of my favorite rants. Resizable stuff. Resizable columns. This here is a resizable row. I didn't know there was a big old window down there because it wasn't big. I needed to be able to see that. All right, so based on that, oh my goodness, look what I was missing all that time. Where's that little double pointed arrow? It's not very reliable, is it? No wonder I was missing that. Come on, Mr. Arrow, let's come on up. Why don't you? There's nothing there. I would like to be able to, oh, there's no double arrow. You just got to click it and drag it. So within this citation, we haven't linked it to anything yet. So I assume that if I link this to some event like we were planning to do, then that event maybe will show up in here as a link or a reference. Okay. We're just finding our way around here, doing it the hard way, and making you watch. I hope it's not too painful. Woo! See, you got to grab that exactly the right place. There's your reference. Okay, so within this source, we have this citation. And another question I have is, can I reuse this citation? They're calling it number 0, C0000. We got somebody named George W. Ritter, I believe, in the same family. And I would want to use the same citation for that guy so that this citation text doesn't have to be copy pasted from place to place or retyped, which is worse. And so that the same citation text isn't saved over and over in the database citation. You'd want to use that over and over for George W. Ritter, everybody else in that household. So because it's the same citation, so it shouldn't be repeated. Okay, so I need to link that event to that source, and here's the repository. So this, it looked like, okay, we got our let's see, there's a repository and there is a source within that repository, so that looks okay. Now how can I go to the citation and link something to the citation? That's the big question of the day. Let's double click the citation. Oh, references. Well, can I just add one like this? No, that's grayed out. You can't do that. I want to link an event. Well, then let's go straight to the event and see what happens if I open up this event. I just learned this new trick and I can't wait to try it. Oh, there's no double arrow, and oh, if you grab that at exactly the right pixel, you can drag it. Very nice. Okay. All right. Well, Gramps isn't perfect, but at least they're trying to be perfect. They're trying harder to be perfect than everybody else, I believe. Looking for a way to link a source to this event. That should be easy. Let's try doing it right there. Add an existing citation or source. We got a tooltip this time. Did you notice? Before we looked at an icon similar to this one, didn't get a tooltip. Okay. Oh, here's that expanding thing I was looking for. You see? Okay, now that brings up something in my mind that I was meaning to mention when I was actually watching the movie earlier on YouTube about how to do sources, citations, repositories. And that is a little problem I have with what you call dialogue after dialogue after dialogue after dialogue. And that is confusing. And it's also a lot of clicking. So in Treebard, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to have repositories, sources, and citations. You can add them all in the same place at the same time. Okay, and you don't get all these going from dialogue to dialogue to dialogue. You clickety click click click. Okay, you spend the rest of your life clicking, and when you're done, you can't remember what you did. We're supposed to select a citation to link to this event. Let's select this citation right here and click OK. What's this for? Why did that open? Too many dialogues. Oh, there's another dialogue. What's this? Double click. See, all these dialogues, it confuses me. People don't want to see all that junk. Save changes. Well, yeah. Why wouldn't I? That's why I changed it, so I can save the changes. Residence. Okay, so this residence event, which took place on this day, because that's the day the census taker found this guy living in this place, is now linked to a source. I don't like resizable columns. Now, if you hire an interior designer to come into your office or your fancy penthouse suite or wherever you happen to be, and fill it full of furniture and stuff and make it all pretty and nice and put up the walls in the right place and just make it all perfect feng shui. Well, what if they just put wheels on all your furniture and stuff that place so full of furniture you can't hardly find a place to walk, and they just put wheels on everything and say, okay, now when you need a place to walk, you just shove all that furniture to the side, or if you're not using your sofa, you just shove it off to the side and wheel that chair on up and in front of the TV and use your chair instead. I think probably you'd refuse to pay that interior decorator. Now, here you got a limited space, and instead of opening up where you can read it, you open up where you get to shove something aside so you can read it. Okay, there's a mini rant on resizable columns. And I already showed you resizable rows where something that I needed to see wasn't there, and it cost me some time. It even cost you some time because you were watching. All right, double click this. I don't want to double click to open another thing because now all this stuff is scattered. You got your citation scattered. You got your event in one place. You got your citation in another. You got your source in another. You got your repository in another. Why is this stuff scattered like this? That makes me feel like a scatterbrain trying to follow it around. Anyway, I think that's about the best we can do, is to see everything in a different screen. The other thing I want to do is make sure I can use that, George. I want to make sure we can use that same. What? Oh, come on. Close without saving. I didn't mean to change John. I meant to click a plus sign. Oh, come on. What is this? I want to make a new person. Has nothing to do with Smith. What? How can I make a new person if they just keep putting Smith in there for me? You see what smart software does to you? It wastes your time. They made a decision for me. I didn't want to do that. His name's Ritter. Why'd they do that? I don't like smart software. They need to, let me make my own decisions. You know what I mean? George W. Ritter. Okay. And I want to make sure George W. Ritter can be linked to that same citation instead of copying the citation, which I used to use a program called GenBox, and I had to copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, citation after citation and then it all ended up duplicating the citation in the JetCom, which is, I mean, I didn't know about JetCom at that time, fortunately for me. So anyway, here you go, George W. Ritter. We want to make a residence event for George W. Ritter. Main participants, oh my, that's getting fancy already. Let's see, we want to make a new residence, 8 June 1870. I want to make sure you can actually link the same citation to 2 or more things. I finally finished my sentence. 8 1870 June. I think that's the wrong order. What do you think? Let's see if that formats. In Treebard you could say 8 1870 June. Say any order you want and it's going to come out perfect. But this isn't Treebard, so we'll see. Now we're going to add a citation. Looks like we can do that right here. Let's try. Expand. Look at that. Now that's nice if it works. I don't know why that opened. You just have to turn it off, right? All right, so there it is. Oh, now there's your resizable columns. Do you realize that my mouse hand hurts permanently? It has for 30 years. Okay, so there it is. We were able to use the same citation for 2 different events. And that is very good. Gramps is good. It's doing the right thing. Bye.